We've got some fascinating new reveals about the upcoming Marvel Disney Plus show, Secret Invasion. I want to dig into these new reveals, but then I also want to talk about why I think this could be the perfect Marvel show to sort of break the mold and get fans excited about what MCU Disney Plus shows could actually be. Unlike a lot of the other Disney Plus shows, Secret Invasion is actually based on one of the most iconic and wild Marvel Comics events of all time. It's a story that arguably deserves a movie and maybe even a series of movies, but maybe that's the point. So smash a gosh dang like on this video and let's begin. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the production itself, and unfortunately, this is gonna have to deal with delays. You've probably been seeing a bunch of stories about how Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios are slamming on the brakes, pumping the brakes and pushing everything back, and Secret Invasion is no different. According to insider KC Walsh, Secret Invasion has been delayed from May to June. But he goes on to say that this is a sort of locked-in date. He doesn't expect this project to be delayed any further. This is actually corroborated by Alex Perez from the Cosmic Circuit. Now, this is seemingly just a part of the big delays and pushbacks for all of Marvel Studio, as Kevin Feige is looking to really assess the quality of each individual project and cut down on the amount of quantity that comes out from the studio each year. And so although this is a delay and it's kind of a bummer, it's likely going to serve the show overall and make sure that the show is just really polished. Now, interestingly enough, there's a very new report of Samuel L. Jackson being spotted on some kind of top secret project in a Scottish town. I'm putting up some of the photographs here that came out, but this is essentially a place in Scotland with a ton of different trailers, and apparently they went out and shot some super secret stuff with Nick Fury, aka Samuel L. Jackson. And funnily enough, this was actually broken by the Almond Valley Heritage Center, who wrote the following on one of their social media posts with this image I'm putting on the screen here. It says, "A little bit of Hollywood came to Almond Valley this week as our overflow car park was transformed into the production village of a major film production. A string of big fancy trailers parked up in our field, providing base camps for cast and crew as they filmed at various locations. It was and is all very top secret, and even if we knew more, we wouldn't say. Suffice it to say, we're preparing a commemorative plaque promptly stating somewhere near this bush, makeup was applied to Samuel L. Jackson." Saturday and Sunday were supposed to be quiet days for the film production, but the big trailers shunted into a corner of the field as not to get in the way of our visitors. But plans changed. That's showbiz, and the full crew decided to move out today just as happy visitors were arriving for a Mother's Day visit to Almond Valley. Our apologize if anyone was inconvenienced by all these goings-ons. These marvels don't happen every day. This was picked up on by a lot of different insiders, and it is being suggested that this is associated with Marvel Studios. We don't have the full details here, but it's believed that this was for shooting on Secret Invasion or perhaps even the Marvels. Now, once upon a time, the Marvels and Secret Invasion were supposed to have a lot of ties together. I think it was originally envisioned that Secret Invasion, the story from the comics, was going to be essentially set up in the Disney Plus show Secret Invasion, and then that would be paid off in the Marvels. But now, considering everything we've heard about the Marvels, that's really not the story at all. The Marvels is mostly going to be about Miss Marvel being teleported out into the universe somewhere, Brie Larson, who is revealed to be on Earth in the post-credit scene of the Miss Marvel shows, likely going to have to go back out into space, and the movie's called The Marvels. So you're going to see Monica Rambeau, you're going to see Carol Danvers and Kamala Khan all traversing around the universe, likely trying to stop some big bad alien that has the other bangle. So there doesn't seem to be a clear connection between what's going on in Secret Invasion and the Marvels, but Captain Marvel herself being associated with the Kree and the ideas of the Kree-Skrull War perhaps playing out in the events of the Marvels and also in the events of Secret Invasion, that kind of leaves it open for there to be some kind of connection between the two shows. Now, these reshoots or whatever this top secret thing is over in Scotland is likely just to punch up Secret Invasion. They're making use of the delay by adding in some new scenes. And the fact that it's top secret makes me really think it's going to be associated with Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion is a very interesting story from the comic books that involves different people in the Marvel Universe actually being Skrulls, and this Skrull invasion that has been going on for years and years and years in the Marvel Comics universe. And part of the joy of that comic book run was trying to figure out who was really a Skrull in the current Marvel Comics setting. That was a big part of the mystery. And so perhaps they're not just pumping up the Secret Invasion show, but shooting some really interesting secret scenes that are going to be put into that show to give us more of that crazy juice. Like, who's actually going to be a Skrull? Like, oh my goodness, is Nick Fury a Skrull? Oh my goodness, is Sam Wilson a Skrull? You know, crazy stuff like that. So basically the show is being delayed, but it seems like it's actually for good reason. And this show in particular has a very good chance of being a very high quality MCU show that has a lot of surprises and secrets for fans. And that sort of takes us into a bunch of new reports from the Cosmic Circus. They recently published an article with some new details and reveals about the show. So they say here the upcoming Marvel Studios Disney Plus show Secret Invasion stars Samuel L. Jackson as Nick Fury and Ben Mendelsohn as Talos. The show is based on a storyline from Marvel Comics, but the official synopsis from Marvel Studios describes it as a series about a faction of shape-shifting Skrulls who have been infiltrating Earth for years. They go on to say, we have learned from our sources that the show brings back the incredible spy thriller vibes reminiscent of Captain America Winter Soldier. Each episode leaves more twists and turns than ever, leaving fans with more questions than answers. And I just want to stop for a second and say that is so good to hear, and I'm going to really dig into that at the end of the video because, again, I think this could be a really special show for Marvel, and I'm excited about some of the things I'm hearing. But just them saying Winter Soldier vibes and each particular episode having more twists and sort of us getting more confused as we watch it, that is exactly the vibes that I got when I was reading the Secret Invasion run. It is a really fun thing, and I think a welcome change of pace from the usual Marvel Disney Plus shows. But that's not all, because they talk about some really crazy stuff next, saying one detail that was mentioned to us by our source is the explanation for why a portion of the show appears to be taking place in Russia. According to our sources, Russia and their nearby countries will serve as key locations for the rogue sect of Skrulls led by Kingsley Ben-Adir's character. The source has mentioned that a specific region will play a crucial role in the plans that the rogue Skrulls have set in motion. This region will be an abandoned nuclear power plant, potentially Chernobyl. However, it is not confirmed whether or not Marvel will flat out reveal that the abandoned nuclear site is in fact Chernobyl, only allude to it and possibly not mention it by name. And I'm putting a shot up here of this underground base from one of the trailers, and the article goes on to say the reason that the Rebel Skrulls are hiding out in this abandoned power plant is that they are currently building a device in the underground levels of the plant seen in the D23 trailer as screenshotted here. This device, we're told, requires a decent amount of power. While our sources could not confirm what exactly the device is, our current theory is that it could be used to introduce a new threat to the MCU, Super Skrulls. But more on that theory at a later date. So that is really crazy, and the device that you can see in that screenshot is a really interesting one. It does kind of resemble the structure that was used to create Captain America, the first super soldier in the MCU. And so it's absolutely possible that what the Skrull are seeking is Stark technology that's really associated with the super soldiers themselves, whether this is Captain America, whether this is Hulk, or whatnot. But one of the past rumors about Secret Invasion has me going down another path for my own individual theory. And this is the idea that the Skrull and Kree are actually after Stark tech. But the reason they are after Stark tech is because word has spread around the galaxy that Tony Stark's technology and his own armor was crucial in overthrowing Thanos, getting the stones back, and bringing everybody that had been snapped away back to life. And so I think the Skrull could actually be after the technology to create an arc reactor, damn near unlimited energy that can really be held in the palm of one's hand. And maybe they want that device to power their own weapons, maybe their own armor. So maybe the Skrull want just their own nanotechnology that can create suits that can withstand incredible amounts of power and radiation like the suit did with the Infinity Stones. Now, of course, Tony Stark snapping with the Infinity Stones ultimately destroys him, and he wasn't able to actually figure out how to create the suit that could handle the stones without killing him. But the fact remains that it was able to hold that power and allow him, a mortal man, to be able to use the power of the Infinity Stones. It's very likely that whatever the Skrull are after, it will be utilized as a weapon to take on the Kree, because we do think that the Kree-Skrull War will be a thing that's going on in the Secret Invasion show, and perhaps even in the Marvels. Another really interesting possibility is the advent of Ultron. I mean, Ultron was created by Tony Stark in the MCU, and we've heard that Ultron is going to return in the Armor Wars movie, and that could also be connected to the Stark technology that the Skrull are after. And in fact, you see in the trailers for Secret Invasion, Don Cheadle as James Rhodes having conversations with Nick Fury. It's possible that's not actually James Rhodes. It's possible that's a Skrull trying to use his government position to be able to get his hands on this Stark tech. So that's a ton of really fun new information about the Secret Invasion show, and I think the big lingering question is going to be, what do the Skrull actually want? How long have they been infiltrating Earth? And who have we seen in the Infinity Saga, and perhaps even in Phases 4 and 5, that are actually Skrull? But now I want to talk about what this show could mean and what it could do for the Marvel fandom. Because again, Secret Invasion is such an incredible comic book story. It is a big, big deal and had long-lasting ramifications for many different characters in Marvel Comics. And currently, when you just think back to all the other Disney Plus Marvel shows, it feels bad to think of an epic story like Secret Invasion done in that style. Most of the Disney Plus Marvel shows just leave me feeling really unfulfilled. And although there are cool episodes here and there, and often the depiction of the characters is pretty good, they usually don't really get there to the level of epicness that the Marvel movies have had, and I don't think they really push anything major forward for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Of course, Loki is different. Loki did all the things that we want, and what I'm really hoping for with Secret Invasion is that we get Loki-esque levels of impact on the overall fabric of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but done in a very Winter Soldier way. If the tone for Marvel is really about to change pretty drastically, which I think is possible, I mean, Insider My Time to Shine Hello is talking about multiple TV, MA, and R-rated projects. We've been hearing that the tone for Daredevil Born Again is going to go darker than what you usually get in the MCU. Captain America New World Order and the Thunderbolts both seemingly going back to that Winter Soldier-esque darker part of Marvel, where there's going to be a lot of paranoia, arms races, New World Order, shady backdoor political dealings. If this is the direction we're going, then I think Secret Invasion is the perfect show to start this off, to get that going. And I'm really hoping that they actually do keep some of these secrets from the Marvel audience. I mean, we already know a lot, including who Emilia Clarke is actually going to play in the show, but it would be so fantastic to get some massive cameos from different Avengers levels characters that are actually Skrull, and some of the wildness that they could do with this show would be fantastic. I want them to go big. I want them to go bold. Something in the vein of Hydra having infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D. and S.H.I.E.L.D. actually being a puppet for Hydra for a long, long time. Like, that's a mind-blowing idea that Marvel really had to take in stride and make many changes compared to what's going on in the comics. And so I would really love for Secret Invasion to be a fantastic show, high quality, evoke some of the feelings that the comic book gave me when I read it, and make major impact and changes for the characters of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually getting hyped. I actually think that could be what's going on here, and this pushback, this delay, will give them time to really polish it up and maybe even add in some new and more crazy cameos. So there you go, guys. New information about Secret Invasion and why I'm so hopeful that this will set a new tone for the Marvel Disney Plus shows. Of course, let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. Smash a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And if you want to watch more, why not check out this video I just did talking all about how Secret Wars is likely to be split up into 2 movies.